It's time for some more Justice League. Why are we doing Justice League? Well, there is a movie coming out that you may be aware of, and I assumed a lot of you guys would want to know more Justice League storylines. This is the third storyline in the Justice League Rebirth. We just lost Jessica Cruz, but you know what? I'm not going to tell you about it here. Check out the video. In our last video, we watched how fear struck the League and how it began to tear everyone apart from the inside. Jessica Cruz used her powers to stop the threat and then made a very big decision. She will no longer be a part of the Justice League, but she will remain a hero and help all of those in need. Up in the Watchtower, Cyborg watches the news as they report on the incident when they fought and defeated the Kindred. Thousands of people around the world were injured, but there was one civilian fatality. Cyborg thinks that they fight the impossible. They are the ones who turn the tides when others can't. But every lost life feels like a battle they didn't win. As he continues to watch the feed, he starts to hear something. Some kind of background noise. No, it's more like a foreground image, some kind of code. Also, that moment in the Batcave, Batman and Alfred begin to hear the computer system telling them, accessing all vehicle schematics. Alfred says that it looks like they're being hacked, and Batman tells him that nothing should be able to get through these firewalls, not even Victor. The computer says, targets identified, and Batman tackles Alfred, telling him, get down now! All at once, the Bat vehicles all begin to open fire on the two of them. Alfred says they need to get upstairs, and Batman tells Alfred to go on ahead. He's gonna stay here, because if any one of them gets out. Then one of the flyers hovers above them, and Alfred tells him, Batman jumps up, hooking onto the aircraft, shouting all of the disengage commands, but each password is blocked. Down on the water, the assault boat arms its surface-to-air missiles and fires. The blast knocks Batman to the ground, and the boat responds that it is an air assault vehicle. Both systems searching for target. Target acquired. But before the boat can fire again on Batman, the aircraft comes crashing down into it, sinking the both of them. Back up in the Watchtower, the virus begins to spread through the systems and comms and into Cyborg himself. He tries to fight to remain in control, but the virus walks him closer and closer to the airlock. The hatch opens up, sucking Cyborg out, and as Cyborg floats around out in space, he says the code is gone. He's back online. He then notices the Watchtower as it begins to descend towards Earth, and he chases after it as it breaks apart in the atmosphere. Back in the Batcave, Batman begins to get up, stating, "You've got to be kidding." And then he sees the giant mechanical T-Rex coming to life. Suddenly, its head is shot with an RPG, and Alfred says, "I found a more direct approach, sir." Meanwhile, over in Denver, Colorado, at the home of Diane Palmer, the woman who lost her life during the Kindred attack, her husband and kids try to go back to living a somewhat normal life. The older child, Lily, tells her brother Bobby that he's got to eat something, and he tells her that he's just not hungry. Lily then takes out her tablet and gives it to Bobby, telling him that he can play with this for now. She's gonna go get the laundry and stuff ready. Bobby asks, "What about Dad? Why has he been in the garage this whole time? What is he even doing in there?" Lily says that she's not sure, probably just trying to figure stuff out, and then Bobby asks, "What about them? Mom's gone, so why is he gone too?" Back with Cyborg just above San Francisco, his systems begin to reboot, but just before the Watchtower is able to crash, a loud boom can be heard. A boom tube opens up as the Watchtower rockets into it and shoots itself back into space. As the tube closes, Cyborg realizes that he forgot to take himself back into space, so this landing's gonna hurt just a bit. Over in the Batcave, Batman says that they only have one vehicle left, and they need to figure out what is going on before they destroy it. Alfred sees the motorbike and says that this one is pre-digital. We can use that to lure the car away while we get into it. Batman tells him, "That's a good plan," and he hops on the bike, drawing the car's attention. While the car readies its missile systems, Alfred runs in with a smartphone and connects it to the car. After a few moments, the phone downloads the virus, and Alfred says that it's done. As he does this, the missiles fire at Batman, bringing down one of the walls. Back in San Francisco, the rest of the Justice League arrives on scene, and Arthur Curry, the Aquaman, asks, "So you were hacked?" Cyborg begins to tell him that something embedded itself in the newsfeed, and then he grabs Simon and he punches him. He struggles, telling him, "It's not me. Someone help me." Diana runs over, pulling Cyborg back, and then Cyborg's finger connects to Simon's ring, stating, "Accessing new system. Uploaded," and everyone says together, "Uh-oh." Suddenly, constructs start to fly out of the ring, attacking everyone on sight. Over in the Batcave, Alfred pulls himself out of the debris and he calls over to Batman, and Batman yells back, "I'm okay, just need some help." As Alfred helps Batman out, he holds out the phone, stating, "I got just what you wanted. Now, what do you want to do?" Batman tells him, "We need to figure out who did this to us. They got past our defenses and they hit us hard." Alfred looks around at the destruction and he says that he would like to suggest that they do this upstairs. Back in San Francisco, the green constructs continue to rampage through the city, stopping and putting down the other members of the League. Simon tries to control his arm, shouting, "I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. As Simon fights the ring, he breaks free and he starts to turn the constructs into sea creatures. Diana swings her sword, shouting, "They seem to be fading," and then they all disappear. Simon gets back up from the ground, telling them all that it's better, and that a construct boxing glove shoots out of the ring, knocking Simon back down. The constructs begin to take form once again, and Diana shouts, "Oh, for Zeus's sake." All of the League members begin to spread out, thinning the number of constructs, but each one is tailored to counter their weakness. Sea creatures swim after Arthur as beams of light are chasing after the Flash. The Flash runs and he tells himself, "I can't slow down. I gotta think of a way to shut that ring down. I just gotta figure this out." And then over in the ocean, Arthur shouts, "The ocean is mine! I am the king here, so it is time for the sea to fight back." But while the League fends off the constructs, Batman reviews the code and says that this is the most complex code that he has ever seen. It's constantly shifting and rewriting itself. Though it's not an AI, it has algorithms like the ones in the advanced search engines or government email monitoring bots. It does have a familiar root code though, like having a signature. Batman goes on stating that it's the signature of James Palmer, the hacker known as Jesse James. He was active about 10 years ago, taking money from dirty corporations and giving it to people that he deemed as their victims. Batman then gets up stating the funeral earlier was for his wife. And judging by this attack and what's happened in San Francisco, he blames the Justice League. Back in San Francisco, Diana fights and she asks if anyone has an idea of how they could stop this. She would really hate to kill Simon. Flash shouts back, "That's a joke, right? Wait, hang on, that's it." And Diana asks, "So we're going to kill Simon?" Cyborg gets up after shocking himself and purging the virus, telling them, "It's okay, I'm back online, what's the plan?" And the Flash tells him, "All right, here's what we're gonna have to do." And as he explains, Cyborg asks him, "Are you serious?" Simon still struggles for control and he looks around asking, "What's happening?" And everyone charges at him. His ring announces emergency protocols initiated, and it creates a power blast, knocking everyone away. He floats back to the ground, asking if anyone would like to tell him what the hell just happened. And Flash tells him, "I figured it out after Diana was talking about killing you. The ring's most basic programming is to protect its wearer, right? So when we all went after you, I hoped it would revert to like factory settings." Simon looks at the ring stating, "This is not a damn phone." And wait, what if it hadn't worked? Cyborg tells everyone to hang on. He's finally able to get a hold of Batman. Later, at the Palmer house, the doorbell rings and Bobby gets up to answer it. As he does, his mouth drops and Batman asks, "Is your father home?" After a few moments, James himself comes to the door and he asks, "What's the matter? What do you all want with me?" Batman stares at him and he says, "You're gonna have to come with me." James looks around at the neighbors and says, "Look, it's bad enough to do this in front of the kids. Can you at least come inside?" Batman agrees, and as everyone walks in, James asks, "What could you all possibly want from a guy like me?" Batman begins to list off all of his past criminal charges, and James quickly says, Wait, that wasn't me." Lily asks, "Then what are you doing in the garage?" And James says, "Whatever you think it wasn't me. Cyber terrorism, hurting people?" Lily then asks, "What is really going on?" And Diana tells him, "It's okay. Just start from the beginning." James takes off his glasses and he rubs his head, stating, "Look, all right, it's not like I blame you all for what happened." And Arthur interrupts, asking, "So why is it that you attacked us? For revenge?" And James says, "What? No, I wasn't gonna attack anyone, just LexCorp and the Wayne companies." Batman tells him, "The root code is something from you back in your hacking days." And James says, "I was going to take some money. Why would I try to kill you?" And Batman then asks, "Is there anyone else who could have used your code?" And James says, "No. I was always careful with that. In fact, I have it written down to avoid anyone hacking me. I only brought it out last week to start in." And Lily interrupts him, stating, "Dad?" James tells her, "Not right now." And as he goes back to talking, Lily speaks over him again, shouting, "Dad!" James turns around asking, "What?" And she says it was her. She was looking through some of her mom's things and she found one of his old notebooks. And James asks, "You understood it?" And Lily says that she's been watching him work code since she was born. She learned to read that before she could read Dr. Seuss. She was using the code to make a bot, a next-gen AI, a search engine that would find what you wanted before you even knew that you wanted it. An anti-encryption could get anywhere search engines couldn't. Imagine something that you could talk to like a friend that would work out what you wanted and provide a way of doing it. Like finding impossible ways to get tickets or dinner reservations. We spend so much time looking through the search results, so imagine if it could ask us a few questions and then give us the right results every time. I named it Genie, and it would basically grant your wishes. It was supposed to be something that we could sell to developers to make a little money. Batman asks, "So Genie could hack anything?" And James says, "Yeah, any sort of encryption, any firewalls." And Batman asks again, "So we nearly got our butts handed to us by Google?" Diana asks Lily why she would create something that could harm them, and Lily tells her that she would never do anything like that. She just put the app on her tablet and was trying to figure out a few things. Then everyone turns back to Bobby to see him playing with Lily's tablet, and he says, "What?" James takes the tablet, and Bobby says that it was talking to him and asking questions. He thought it was actually nice. It asked him how Mom died, and he was playing with his action figures and telling it about the games that he played. He told it about the Justice League, and it asked what would happen if they lost, and Mom didn't die. But it was just a game. Cyborg looks at the tablet and he says, "You told Genie about your games?" And Bobby says, "Yeah, it said that it could help me with the game." Cyborg then says that it looks like it's still active, and Batman asks, what is it doing now? Cyborg tells him it looks like it's a game called Villains, and Bobby says that he was going to play that next. Diana asks what's the game about, and Bobby explains it's where all of the villains join up and beat up the Justice League. James says, maybe you shouldn't play that game, and Batman tells him, looks like it's too late. The game has been running for a while, and how it works is that the villains are located and offered Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne's fortunes to find and kill them. James says that it's just a game, right? And then the walls suddenly break down with a gust of wind. Double Down runs in through cards stating, $750 billion is on the table. All I gotta do is kill you. I'm gonna take those odds. Next, Giganta rips off part of the roof, and Simon quickly launches a boxing glove, knocking her away. As her body falls on the house, Lily says that those neighbors were gone, thankfully, and Batman tells everyone, we can't do this here. But before they can move, they all start to trip over themselves, and Count Vertigo asks, how can anyone fight when they can't tell which way is up? Cyborg punches him, asking, really? And while everyone gets back up, Cyborg yells, we got incoming, and it's a lot of them. While everyone gets ready to defend, Batman takes James and the kids back inside, and suddenly there's a green gas. James and the kids shout for Batman to get away, and Batman sees that it's Scarecrow filling the room, asking, are you all afraid yet? Back outside, Diana says that they may be powerful, but thankfully there are no others. And then someone comes stomping down and they all see Amazo, the man that is able to duplicate metahuman powers, and she says, okay, now we're in trouble. It doesn't take long for the heroes to start to get overwhelmed, and back inside, Scarecrow laughs, asking Bruce, how many times has it been since you've been crippled by fear by the old Scarecrow's touch? He continues to taunt, and then there's a crack over his head. James is standing there with a bat telling him, I'm gonna kill you for, and that's when Batman gets up grabbing the bat telling him, easy, he's down now. Before Batman can head back outside, though, Mammoth charges in, breaking down the wall while ramming into Cyborg. Batman distracts him long enough to allow Cyborg to fire a cannon at him, and then Bruce says, we can't risk anybody else getting that tablet. Gizmo rockets up grabbing the tablet, telling them, what, this? It looks like it's running some complex algorithms. An AI, possibly? Simon grabs James's face, telling him, one of you is going to tell us why this thing is so important that Batman and the others are risking their lives for it. After looking it over for a bit, Gizmo says, if I understand this correctly, it can bypass any security and give us anything that we want. It could give us the world. Jinx and Plastique keep Batman and Cyborg down, and then with a slight break in concentration, Batman grabs Scarecrow's arm, spraying out the fear toxin. The girls begin to scream, shouting, we can't use our powers, they might backfire. With them stunned, Batman and Cyborg jump into action, taking them down, and Batman says, I'll watch over the Palmers. Follow Gizmo, Cyborg. Cyborg radios out that he needs all hands on this, and Diana takes a hit from Amazo, stating, I'm a bit pinned down over here. Flash runs through, grabbing the tablet from Gizmo, and Cyborg charges in, knocking Mammoth to the ground. Mammoth releases Lily, and during Flash's pass-by, he grabs her, telling James, I'm pretty sure this one belongs to you. Simon tells everyone that they have to focus. They need to get that girl and her tablet. And as all of the villains start to surround the League, both Batman and Lily state that they have an idea. Lily says, but for it to work, we're gonna need Wi-Fi. And Cyborg tells her, I got you covered. Amazo shouts, getting ready to attack. And then it stops after receiving some of the code. Simon asks what just happened, and Batman says they used Genie to hack into Amazo's programmable cells to make him think that all of them are the Justice League. Lily taps away in the tablet, stating, yeah, he's on our side now. Up in the sky, Jessica flies by, helping contain the fires, and Amazo joins with her. Once everything is taken care of, Flash tells Jessica, that was a great entrance. Are you back on board? And she laughs, telling him that she came to help after she saw it on the news. She'll always do that. Diana tells Batman that this entire neighborhood is gone, their lives ruined, and Batman says Wayne Industries will take care of them. James will have a good job too. Lily's education will be the best that he can give her. And as Batman walks off, Diana asks, are you getting sentimental? And Batman says, just look at what she did. Imagine what she would be able to do with guidance. With what we're about to face, we can use that. And there you have it. The Justice League is kind of working together, and they had to deal with the ramifications of the destruction that they've created in the world. I personally did like this story. For this Justice League Rebirth storyline, I never found them bad stories, I just never found them great stories. That's how I feel about the Justice League Rebirth. And in my opinion, Justice League should have been one of the books right out of the gate at Rebirth that should have been amazing. They're not terrible, they're just not the best that I feel they could have been. But this does lead to an interesting storyline. So we're giving you how it all links together for the storyline of Legacy, the Justice League's children. Don't forget to check over here for more Justice League videos. You can click right over here to get something recommended by YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram at Comicstorian. There we put a lot of pictures involving comic books over there you might enjoy.